better.
That's true. That my idea there is just to not totally rip off of Hot Wings, but both are good ideas.
We need to come up with a special version of that.
Yes, I agree. I agree. That would be fun. But yeah, can everybody see my screen?
I will share mine as well because I know it gets.
Perfect. All right. So I guess we can do the first game just over some casual conversation. No community griefing, we'll call it. then we
You
can
got it.
then we can include some of the community in on the next couple of games. But I guess the first question I have for you would be, tell us a little bit about I guess your background in business and then how that led you into getting into the crypto space and you know eventually running a project, especially at the magnitude that you're at right now.
Yeah. So my background is all in the neuroscience field. So I used to. So if you're in the U.S., right, you go to any hospital in the U.S., the neuroclinical tracking software they use is mine. I was the co-founder of that company that ran that software that developed everything. Whenever anyone is tracking any neuroclinical diseases, it is my software. But for me, as I was a big speaker in the neuroscience world, before crypto, every weekend I would be in a new city speaking to a new conference about this new development in neuro, this, that, and the other. But my background is really core in neuro. That's kind of where all my expertise lies, but also in the business and financial world. I was in stocks since I was 13. I want to say I started trading penny stocks. So I was kind of always in the world and playing it and learning about it. But for me, it was all about finance and neuro, really these fields that are research focused because I love nothing more than like sitting there and just researching new things. So that was kind of what always intrigued me about those two things. And that's why now I'm a financial engineering major and a neuroscience major.
Gotcha. Where'd you go to study? That's a I can't imagine that's a light work of school.
So I wrapped up a lot of associate's degrees. I finished three of them: chemical engineering, neuroclinical engineering, and then finance as well. And then after that, I went ahead and now I'm wrapping up my bachelor's now.
Gotcha. So you're still in school too.
Yes, yes, barely, but we're there.
The last home stretch. I like it. It's always a good feeling.
Exactly, exactly. But for me, it's like even with school, it's like my heart is so 100 days focused and taking 100 days, and it's level. It's like anything else that isn't 100 days for me is tough to focus on right now.
Oh yeah, I bet. I started in the crypto space and never looked back, pretty much.
Really.
So how did that kind of lead into you creating 100 days? Like, what was the initial
Totally.
thought
So
behind it, and then how'd you meet the team
yeah.
and all of
So
that
for
good
me,
stuff?
it's kind of what I spoke to earlier was the aspect of my neuroscience background. So when I was developing the neuro application here, I wanted to actually store data in a decentralized manner because currently the way they store data is just not efficient in the US. It's not secure. There's a lot of different variants here, which make it unsuccessful. So for me, is I wanted to integrate blockchain mechanics to run the back end of that software, and that's what I did. So for me, is that's where it all started for me, and that's kind of where like I got into the tech side of crypto. I was in the mainstream, like your blue chips or Bitcoin, ETH, or whatever early, but I wasn't DeFi. I was very blue chip centric, but I loved the tech of it, and that's what got me interested. So for me, from there, it kind of streamed as where else can I get involved? What else does it look like? And then I got deep down the DeFi rabbit hole, and I'm like, wow, there's so many technological solutions to crypto that we can do that really aren't done. Like this neurocritical stuff is just the round one, the beginning of what it can be. And from there, it kind of spread like wildfire to 100 days. And like from that aspect, it was like being in the DeFi world, seeing all the rug pulls, seeing the lack of a vision, and kind of doing something more than the definite answer. So I was like, I feel like I can do better than this. And that's kind of where it started. And then Ro is my uncle, actually. So Ro kind of had an immense background in the tech world, being executive at T-Mobile. He was one of the highest executives ever there in terms of what he did from an operational standpoint. So I knew that he was kind of looking for his next chapter as well. And then from there, we met Tommy, who was a great friend of Rohit's, and he was also kind of he was on the service industry, and like again, he's a CTO of a publicly traded company, but he was really kind of escaping out of the service line. He had been in the software development side for so long, but he is a technologist at heart and an innovator at heart, and he wasn't able to do that with what he was doing. So he was looking for that escape out. And then I met Daryl being in the crypto world, and me and Daryl just kind of aligned from day one. So that's kind of the inception of our team here.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it's a really great backstory, and not a whole lot of projects and other startups can really say it to that or have that intimate of a story. So, oh, that's pretty neat. But yeah, being a really well-rounded, educated person, I would imagine you do a lot of things like maybe reading books or listening to audiobooks. Do you have any particular books that you really think have set you on a path that you like to follow?
Ooh, that's a great question. So for me, I love writing, but I was never ever much of a reader. However, my Uncle Ro, he's very into books. So he kind of put me on some, but for me is I'm an audio guy. For me to sit down and read a book for 3 hours is tough. My head is always racing. However, I love driving. So for me to throw on something and just listen, that is what works better for me. But for me, it's kind of like what are some core books that I love? I would really have to think about that. Like for me, is nothing really screams out. I'm not the biggest avid reader.
It's not the Bitcoin white paper.
Memorized that one when I was 13.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, how about like any values that you have that you think really define you as a person?
Ooh, that's another good one. For me, it's kind of a positive mindset. I would say it's a generic answer, but to me, it's like when there are things going down. Being in DeFi, there's always some adventure going on or something. It's easy to kind of get caught up in the midst of it, but it's the aspect of like you control what you control and always be like don't be positive stupidly, right? Like be controlled. Like if something really is very bad, you shouldn't be positive about it. But at the same time, understanding what you control and really living the aspect of you control this, but keep building, keep doing your thing, but don't spread that negative energy no matter what.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think I really do align with that too. Like just the power of the growth mindset and always being open to learning more and improving yourself. Like that's something that I think really defines or is really common in people that are successful and just like I said, like always being open to grow and keeping your eyes peeled for those opportunities and seeing things like taking maybe a mistake that you made or I don't know, maybe yeah, I guess just a mistake and learning from those mistakes. I don't know, I was trying to add a little bit more to it to
Yeah,
make
no,
it sound like I
totally.
wasn't just saying the cliche, learn from your mistakes, but I guess that's what it really is, right? Like it's as straightforward
No,
as
I
it
know.
seems.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's just like also it's like understanding that you are not the smartest person in the room. That everyone there has some value addition to provide. It's just extracting that information out of them and learning and growing from them.
Yeah, for sure. And the next question is, are you worried about your queen there?
No,
No?
not at all. Not at all.
Shoot. I thought I got you for a second. I didn't see the bishop move.
Come on, Zach, you gotta be better than that.
Dude, I got that growth mindset. I need to apply it to chess now.
I think I see a checkmating sits here.
Should I just resign?
No, come on, man. We can't quit.
Oh boy. I need the community to play for me. They need to help me out because I suck at chess apparently.
Oh my God, you most definitely do not.
Yeah, I'm playing against a cheater apparently. Yeah, you know how it goes.
Yup, that's why. Yup.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. It's hard playing against an algorithm that knows every single move possible.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I don't think I'll ever be able to forget that one.
that was funny. But yeah, all right. I got another more so of a random question, but Do you believe in aliens?
Totally, 100%.
All right.
Now, I don't know anything more to like what necessarily I believe in there, but I believe that there are other creatures in the world. I think aliens are legit.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. No, I would agree. I
How
think.
about you, Zach? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I would agree. There's so many different planets and galaxies out there. I find it hard to think that there wouldn't be something else out there.
It's tough to believe that there isn't. But I think it's time we flip the script on you. What made you start Cardinal House?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, a little backstory on me. Got into DeFi about a year ago, a little over a year ago. Like the deep DeFi space, not just like you're buying and holding Bitcoin and Ethereum and the blue chip cryptos, but like Olympus DAO, Strongblock, all those projects. And then I decided these are pretty stupid. A lot of them were just like, hey, here, give me your money. We're gonna do a little mixing around on the tokenomics side of things. There's the analogy I really like to use is you have, and I'm gonna blatantly steal this one from you, Bonks, but you have a bunch of chips. Everybody puts their chips in the middle of a pile, like in a poker game, and some people play the game. Some people come out with more chips than they put in, and some people come out with fewer chips. The developers take the house share, and then that's kind of that. Unless more chips are being added to that pile, then there's no real value being created there, right? So stuff like Olympus
Mhm.
DAO, Strongblock, Titano up until recently, they kind of all followed that model where there's no more chips actually being added to that pile. Um, and I thought, well, that's what's the point in that, right? Like these are just hyped up projects for not really any good reason other than the high APY, and I just didn't like that. So I started a project called Chain Estate DAO, and holy crap, this is hard thinking of it and being in a sticky situation in chess and trying to explain the whole backstory of Cardinal House. I underestimated this. Oh man, you're making me think. But I wanted to create something that actually has outside revenue coming in, real utility. Okay, now I don't have to think anymore. Good game, good game.
Good game, Zach.
Um, so is creating something with outside utility, and the concept that I came up with was using NFTs to fractionalize real estate. So doing that in a way with a token and not just the NFTs. So you have the token that would be used to be able to expand the ecosystem in the future. And I'm probably biased, but utilizing NFTs for fractionalized real estate, that's a real big use case for NFTs. And it was something that I was really passionate about. I still am. I think that it's a phenomenal use case for NFTs. And essentially what happened was through that process, we learned that running a project is ridiculously expensive when it comes to the marketing aspects. Like you got groups in Telegram, like Golem's Gems, for example, they charge like $7,000 for an AMA. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous for, it's like 600 people live on the call. Half of them are there for the giveaway. And it's, is it really worth $7,000? Like you're never going to see a return on that investment, especially when you're a project that has 1% of the revenue or on each transaction going back into the marketing and developer pools. Like you have to have an absurd amount of volume to make that money back to funnel back into more marketing. So utilizing that business experience and the knowledge that I gained from running a project. It's still running today, by the way. Like it's still definitely a thing. Still working towards that first property, but another thing we noticed was a lot of people that came in the chat, asking questions about it. It led us to believe that not a lot of people had a very deep understanding of the tokenomics that are involved and stuff. And and all the different aspects to DeFi and crypto, because there's such a huge learning curve. And that's another big
Totally.
reason why we're so passionate on education here, is because people throw money away at dumb rug pulls and projects that are, not adding any value all the time. And if we can educate people, help save them some money, hopefully, and get them up to speed, being able to properly research a project on their own, not just relying on like a YouTuber or somebody to be like, buy this token. Actually teaching them how to do the research themselves is the other aspect that we took out of running our own project. So
I love it too.
that's when we got the idea of Cardinal House, is getting a platform for other cool innovative projects to reach new people for a very affordable way, and to allow people the opportunity to learn about those projects, to learn how to do the research on those projects. And I think combining the two into our ecosystem for what it is today is really been the whole journey that I've been on for the last 4 months.
I think that's a great journey to the aspect of, like, that's what we learn through actually building and being in space, right? It's the aspect of, like, if you look at anyone and you're like, you look on YouTube, you can find anything. But if you look on YouTube, like, how to start a crypto project, there's nothing in the world on it, because it's a one-of-one experience. Everyone, first off, goes through it differently. But also it's the aspect of, like, it's a business at the end of the day, but it's a crypto world business, which is very different than anything else out there, and how critical marketing is, where you could really have an amazing product where it really does solve a niche and there's real revenue. But if your tokenomics aren't solid, it doesn't matter. If your marketing isn't solid, sometimes it still doesn't matter. And there's so many other verticals that, unless every single one is dialed and executed on perfectly, it ultimately won't get you the end result that you want. But the dynamics of crypto just don't integrate any other business world. Like, there's no other venture like it. And I think that's what's so interesting about, like, being in the crypto world and building something more than just kind of like investing is one thing, but like building something legitimate in the DeFi world, there's really nothing like it. And there's no way to like look up a video and learn it. The only way to learn it is being immersed in the culture and really going through the lines of it.
Yeah, no, that's some really good points. And I think my biggest takeaway from Chain of State, from a business side of things, was if you don't have a product actively giving you revenue, which is most crypto projects, right? Like, if you have a token that maybe has like a 2% tax that goes back to you, just for example, if you're doing thousands and thousands of dollars of marketing, you don't actually have a product that you're selling that you get the revenue for, right? Like, if somebody buys $100 worth of your token, you're getting $2 of that back to funnel into more marketing, right? It's not like
Totally.
you get that whole $100 or like a 30% margin on that. So that really kind of opened my eyes to, like, okay, we have to have products outside of just the token itself or just the NFTs. Like, there's got to be more to it than that, and just adding value to those. Like, there has to be like an outside business element to it at the same time, if that makes sense, supporting the internal business element of the actual crypto technology. At least that was my takeaway.
Exactly.
But yeah.
No, I mean, I think that's spot on. And even talking about revenue, right? It's like revenue could be so minute in the crypto world, right? Where it's like inbuilt mechanics of, like, as people join the project and the revenue is inside the project. But to me, like, the $1 million aspect and like what I am trying to create with 100 Days is like real revenue that's beyond like people investing into the project and that going to the next person and going to the third person, your Ponzi-nomics, right? It's going back to the governance and like the structure and the integrity and the decentralized applications and really the aspect of you controlling your financial freedom. I think that's what crypto at its heart is supposed to be. And we've kind of deviated so far from that. But I think it's like now, again, we're such at the early stages of DeFi that we forget that. But it's building a business that is solving a niche. And when you solve that niche properly and really have more than just a vision, but actual execution behind it, the revenue will be there when you're really solving a real world problem. I think that's the magic of kind of what we're trying to do, and kind of what you outlined earlier as well, is that's a real application that solves a real niche problem in the world.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's so much to learn along the way. I mean, what's your biggest takeaway so far from the position that you're in?
My biggest takeaway, I would guess, is the aspect of like, no matter how fast you want to do things take time, but that's okay. And that, like, understanding that, like, it's okay, but no matter what, you got to keep pushing and try to get things done to the speed that you can, but make sure that everything is always kind of staying aligned to why you entered the space and everything that you're trying to execute. Never losing those values and kind of slipping and doing something like for instance, what I like to mention is like giveaways, right? Is recently I've got so much intrigue from so many people to come here and like do X giveaway and kind of doing this and that. It's like that was never what I wanted to do, right? And it's like people are like, oh, don't you want the exposure for 100 days right now with you guys doing everything? It's like, absolutely, we need the exposure. But at the same time, it's like staying to our traditional values, doing things with substance behind what we're really leading. Just things like that right now have been coming up a lot. It's like staying with our vision of substance and really leading the way with that.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a phenomenal takeaway. I think I'm just in, I'm learning everything's every day or learning new things every day, and no, that's a great takeaway. And being like I going back to my point earlier, of being open minded to learning those new things and having that growth mindset of taking the mistakes maybe that you've done, improving upon them, or you know all the experiences that this brings. I think those that have a lot of projects like fail. They start up, they fail, the founders leave the space, never come back. But those are the founders, even though they had a failed project, they need to come back and utilize their experiences and be like, okay, this is what didn't work, here's what might work in the future, and keep refining the process over and over again until they get a product or an ecosystem that works. I think that is something that is we don't see that a lot in this space, I don't think.
Totally. And I think that comes down to the aspect of like crypto can, in my opinion at least, can never be a one man show. At the end of the day, it's a business, it's a company. And a one man show never works. It's the aspect of like you need solid developers. You need a solid tokenomic understanding. You need a solid marketing understanding. You have to have a solid vision. You have to have the network, the connections. Because the world we live in all comes down to connections and networking as well. But it's like if you don't have every layering and the right team, the right structure, and also the ascertain the function to be like, I'm going to get this done no matter what it takes. There could be 50 things going on in my life, but like I'm dedicated to this mission and I'm going to do whatever it takes. It's that mindset, but also having everyone on the same page to achieve that mindset because you can't do it by yourself, no matter how hard you try. If you don't have other people aligned on that vision and helping you get there, you won't get there at the end.
Yeah, no, that's super important. I think a lot of people don't realize how important teammates are. But real quick before I kind of elaborate on that, I did send you another link for this game. We can have
All
the
right,
community vote on some of the moves that we do. So it
let's
could get
do it.
interesting. It could get interesting. I might actually win this one, guys. But yeah, as far as the team goes, like one thing I realized when we were running Chain Estate, it is essentially myself as the community manager, the marketer, the partnership guy, networking, you name it. Anything that wasn't developing, I was doing. And a two-man team, essentially that's what it is. It's a developer because the development side of things is pretty ridiculous too. I mean, it's no easy job to develop, a smart contract, a website, an NFT marketplace. Like that stuff takes time, as you were saying, and learning how crucial it is to have more teammates. I think one thing that a huge takeaway, and letting people help out rather than thinking you can do everything yourself. That's another huge takeaway.
I couldn't agree more. Wait, so how does this work exactly, Zach? Is people voting? How are we doing this?
Um, how about this? We'll give them two options, and then it'll just be like an A or B. Um, I don't know. I didn't really think of this beforehand. It was just kind of like a Chris DM'd me literally 2 minutes before we started. Like, hey, you should do this. That'd be fun. I'm like, okay, that'd be fun. So that's a good question.
Listen, I'm always down for something fun.
All right, it's just I guess give them a couple pieces as options to move, and then we'll have a voting going on in the chat.
All right. Well, I mean, we're early in this game. I mean, I think I can either go queen, knight, or pawn. If anyone wants to throw that in chat, whatever you pick, I'll move it. Whatever you want.
All right, I will type a message, get a few voting options going, and then all right, got one vote for the knight. Anybody else? Go in the AMA questions channels where we're holding all the voting. So 2 for the knight, or 1 for the pawn. Oh, 2 for the pawn, 1 for the knight. All right, it looks like you're moving a pawn.
All right, a pawn it is. A pawn it is. Let's be fun today.
All right, now, man, now I have to vote. Get voted for. Am I moving a knight or a pawn? Let's see. What do we got? I feel like everybody's gonna vote pawn every single time.
Is there a knockoff Austin Clark in here? Okay, okay.
No, Austin Clark changed his profile picture to represent the original Cardinal holders. He's representing.
Oh shit, that's the real Austin Clark?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm not used to this. Damn. I thought I saw Austin like post a photo out somewhere or something.
Nah, he's the real deal.
You got me on that one, Austin. Wait, I gotta do a poll again. Um,
I should
let's
have
just
this on
copy that.
copy and paste.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Can I vote for you?
Go for it. What do you
I
say?
I voted for the
What
queen.
is one? Queen?
Queen. Yeah,
All right.
I think we should just do them in order. So queen would be 1, knight would be 2, and then pawn would be 3.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Queen, knight, or pawn.
To me, though, like something that's like really crazy about crypto, it's like is the application of like starting a process. The fact that there is no standard procedure. I think that is what is so interesting about it. It's like everyone goes about it in their own way. That's just something that's really interesting to me about the space.
Yeah. No, it's an open world. It's really interesting. Uh, we did have somebody say black bishop to d7, so I will do the black bishop to d7. But
Okay, okay.
yeah, no, everybody can. Wait, no, I just lose a pawn here. Astro, you're trolling my game.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess there. Payne, give me a move. Payne, I know you're here. Give me a move.
Don't tell him to take the pawn, please. But yeah, everybody goes about creating their projects their own unique way, and I think that it's definitely fun to see what people come up with, and seeing all the ideas in this space because like you said, it's very new, and there's so much that is to come of it.
All right,
That
pawn
kind
every time it is.
of yeah, seeing it unfold is definitely something that's been really fun.
think it's also the aspect of like, what do you get into DeFi for? It's like, do you get in DeFi to like I consider like a like this necessarily is not the right way, but it's like for instance like a tomb, right? A tomb fork is not trying to solve a problem. It's almost trying to create a new financial layering system. And like it's the aspect of like, do you go into the space to try to create this new financial system, or are you in the space to solve a niche problem? And I think that becomes two completely different demographics of creators and builders. And I found that whole experience to be very interesting as well as like what side of the space do you find interesting to get into? Why is your name JJ Draco? That's a damn good question. Why is my name that? That's I don't have I don't have some like back end story here. Like I have a back end story for Astro for 100 days. But as far as JJ Draco, I definitely was a Drake fan, Payne. You're totally right. I loved Drake, and for some reason AJ didn't work. So then I was like, all right, let's go with JJ and Draco. Like there was not some deeper meaning here. It was super basic.
Yeah, I've always wondered the same thing. I thought your name was JJ for the longest time.
Gotta throw people off.
But no, that's funny. Let's see. Anybody else have any questions for the chat or moves for him to make? All right, Astro, are you gonna let me take his queen?
How about this? Take the queen. Let's see what we can do.
Okay,
I think you can
I'll
take
do it.
that queen and I can still win this game.
Oh yeah, how much you want to bet? How many Astro tokens are we putting on the line
Listen, after the last chess tournament, I cannot bet anymore.
here?
But I'm quite confident that I can pull this. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm insulted. That's mean.
Oh man. So, what do you find what do you find the most interesting aspect like throughout like everything in crypto here? What do you find the most interesting from learning? Like from a project and things like that. What do you find the most interesting learning behind the curtains?
Ooh, um, I think realizing that everybody in the space, like everybody that runs a project, everybody in the community, like we're all pretty much very, very similar people. Like everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, a vast majority of the people share a lot of the same viewpoints. And, essentially that's why the space is created, right? And seeing like, people that run projects or are big YouTubers, getting to meet all those people and then realizing, oh, they're normal people just like me. I think that has been
Totally.
the most interesting aspect of it.
I think it is interesting because like being in like industry, it's like I've never seen a market that works the way crypto does in the sense of like crypto is also very cultish, right? It's like a project can go and really screw some shit up, but it's like there are devoted followers that you can do anything and they'll trust and they'll believe in you and they'll defend you. Like it's amazing in that aspect. But it's also like there's no other industry where you have this kind of like for instance like a Tesla stock has this or like a GameStop had this but like things like that but it's like traditional you never see the community in such a way that you see crypto. I mean in crypto community is like everything. I mean of course product is number one and team but like community is right there. If your community isn't there it's tough but it's just the way crypto communities are. It's also a very different experience.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that, as groups grow, I think we're going to see a little bit of that go away, just because, like, a small community does not at all have the same feel as a big community. So I think we will see a little bit of that fade out over time. But yeah, I find it really interesting to be a part of right now. Because when you get really deep into the fields or the grass or the sticks, I'm blanking on the expression here, but when you get really deep into it, it seems like a really small world. Like everybody seems to know everybody at a higher level, and it's really interesting to see and to be a part of. I think like there's like a legitimate community that I feel like I'm a part of, and I like it. It's nice.
Couldn't agree more. Communities, it's so amazing to be in tune with them. But it's also the aspect of like learning that like, yes, you have this amazing community, but it's also like the true, I don't want to say the true investors because the true investors know what's always going on, but the amount of people that are always watching behind the curtain that aren't vocal or talking in the Discord or Telegram or any other social, that they're just quietly watching from the sidelines. And how many people that can really be. It's sometimes we're on these socials where I think like that's everyone. And you really realize like that could be a very little population sometimes as well, where there's a large amount of the community that just watches from a background without immersing themselves on a talking front, but immersing themselves from an educational standpoint of what you're building and what you're doing.
Yes, yes. The amount of people, like a lot of people gauge engagement based off of like reactions they get on announcements or comments or likes on tweets, but how many people have actually seen that tweet or announcement and didn't react to it? It's a vast majority of people, I think. And it's always interesting. Like you almost meet like a new person in the community saying like, oh, I've been following along for a while. Figured I'd like say hi or ask a question or whatever that might be. And you're like, really, I've never seen you around the community. I'm glad to see that you're with us. Like, I don't know. It's interesting to see like how many people, like you mentioned, like are watching behind the scenes.
Exactly, like yesterday, like a random occurrence. It's like yesterday I was at a friend's birthday, and I go there, and it's like I didn't think that anyone there would really. I knew that some of my friends would know about 100 days, but I walk in there, and it's like everyone knows what's up. Everyone like wore merch, like everyone was kind of immersed in the culture in a way that I would have never thought. But they were, and it wasn't like they were talking on Discord or talking to me about it. They were just in it, and they didn't need to show it in such a manner. They just believe in it and are in it. I mean, that's a little bit different because those are real life friends, but like it's just kind of that philosophy of not everyone is there day to day. In the stock world, true investors are the people that don't talk every day, the people that come and check once a month. Because sometimes it's also the aspect of like being too immersed is also a reverse problem where you start thinking about every decision and how it's functioning, how is this, how is that, versus sometimes taking a step back and just letting it build out sometimes is the right solution. Not always, but sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, it's really interesting. Steve the Modfather says he used to be one of those lurkers, and that used to be me too. Like way back about a little over a year ago, just crawling around all the different discords, catching up, reading some announcements, reading some terminology that I had no idea what it meant. Yeah, all that fun stuff. Ooh, Payne says let Zach move 2 times in a row. I wish we could do that on
I
here. I don't think we can.
yeah.
All right, Payne. I'll let you pick my next move. What's it gonna be? Please don't tell me to take his bishop with my queen. Please.
Payne, you better not screw me up.
Is he good at chess? Do you know?
Oh no. Oh no. Payne is awesome.
Oh, yeah, Payne. Let me in on some secrets here. I need the moves.
Payne is better than I am.
So he can play for me, right? Yeah, is that fair?
I think another fun part is like meeting people in real life. Like Steve there. I had never spoken to Steve. Like I'd been in Grape's Discord, but I don't think that we'd ever talked much. But it was like we met at AVAT's Brooklyn, and I think we just instantly connected. It was like we felt the passion, and we could tell that each other like we brought something different to the table. We shared the vision of what it could be. It's just like sometimes it's the aspect of like meeting in person. Crypto is amazing because it's such an online centric world that like when you see someone in real life and you have the connect, you can just you either feel the energy from day one or you don't. I think like meeting Steve was really fun because it's like we had that day one connect, and like I can't wait to meet more people and continue to experience that as crypto becomes more mainstream over time. I think that is something that's really missing in the world right now. That collaboration effect.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I talk to a lot of people in the space, like a lot of different community members or moderators in other communities or project owners or whatever the case may be, and it's almost never a bad conversation. I don't think I've had a bad conversation with somebody to this date. Um, I usually get along with people pretty well, so maybe that helps. But at the same time, like, there's never been anybody that I haven't gotten along with. So I just, I'm amazed by how like-minded everybody is. So it's pretty refreshing.
It's something amazing to be a part of, especially like right now. It's like we are so early. Like right now, it's like again, it's like understanding why do people get into crypto? I mean, I don't have like a real statistic here, but I would say like for the majority, I mean, people get into crypto because they think it's the next 1,000x for XYZ token, or even like a couple X's on a Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever. But it's like I don't feel like most people get in for the tech. I don't think that that's the entry point right now. But I think over years and over time, I think that will change.
Yeah, no, I think eventually, I think it's just going to get to a point where people are going to be using crypto every single day without even realizing it, and
Exactly.
that's when the fun's going to begin, the real fun.
So chains, what do you think? Are you like bullish on certain chains? What do you think the future of like different blockchains are?
Ooh, that's a
I'm
good one.
flipping the script on you.
All right, no, I like it. I'll answer anything. As far as chains go, I haven't done like super deep research into all of the chains that there are out there. Chains that I know that I'm bullish on at least are Polygon. I think that they got a lot going for them. They've had a lot of recent bullish news for sure. Ethereum, obviously it's Polygon's built off of Ethereum along with tons of other chains, and I think them feeding back into it, obviously things like the ETH 2.0 merge, those take time, but we'll see where that goes. And then Constellation, that's an interesting one. They
Okay.
have you heard of it? Have you heard of it?
I have.
Okay.
Being with John Cole in Avalanche Brooklyn, I heard too much about it. Anyone that was there knows that.
All right. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Um, yeah, there's so much to go over. I'm trying to figure out like what exactly I want to say. I mean, it's not an easy concept to describe, I suppose. At least, I'm not the ones that created it. I probably can't describe it as well as they can. But I don't know.
From a
What's your
future
take on it?
standpoint, do you think all these chains will be around?
I think some will, some won't be. I think most won't be. I do see a cross chain future, but I think that having dozens and dozens of chains out there, like it's gonna get, I think, a little complicated unless there's a solution to bridge all of them seamlessly. Then I think that a lot of them are just gonna die out because they don't have enough applications running on them, or just enough people that care to use their chains, or there's going to be like a clear better alternative. But yeah, I mean, you have so many chains, like some focus on speed or efficiency or scalability, and that's like three different aspects that you can focus on, right? And what if there's 500 chains? Like if they're all, or
Yep.
if half of them are trying to solve the same problem, like one of them might be better than all the others. What's the point of all the other ones then? So there's that too.
Yeah. See, I totally see both arguments of it and both sides of it. For me, like right now, I would say like, of course, Ethereum, I'm bullish on. I think Binance because of how globally adopted it is. I think Avalanche because of what they're again from an infrastructure standpoint, what Avalanche is trying to build, being building in the space and like being at the events and everything. You see what Avalanche is trying to do, and I think it's just the efficiency that Avalanche has. It's tough to compete with. Polygon I like as well. I think Polygon is doing some amazing things. I mean, the Disney deal I think was something that was massive, and I think that they'll continue to execute these giant deals. Optimism I find to be very interesting right now as well. But for me, it's like I think that right now there's gonna be hot chains. There'll be chains that do great. There'll be chains that do terrible. But I think the aspect is like I think the future is chain agnostic. I think that we'll have software solutions to particular real world problems and applications that will run on a certain chain for the feature set on that certain chain. But I think the future is so cross chain that the chain won't matter anymore at a certain point. Again, I think we're so far out from that to even talk about it. But I think that is, at least in my head, the future vision of what crypto will be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely, probably quite a bit out there, but no, it's going to be really interesting to see how everything unfolds and see who just made a fool of themselves and who didn't.
Let's swing this back to 100 days. What are you most interested to see happen for 100 days? Like where's your interest point?
My interest point is the whole concept, merging real world use case on the blockchain and kind of getting a piece of that pie and helping people along the way. Because I think a lot of people, when they think of crypto, they have no idea where to get started. The learning curve is substantial, even for like developers and people higher up in businesses. Like, if you told them like, hey, could you merge with the blockchain in the next 6 months and have a product on chain or like NFTs or a token, they would be like, what? Or a lot of them might be, but helping them along the way, giving them ideas or helping them code things or whatever that might look like, I think there's a huge opportunity for it, and really explaining to those guys like how exactly that would help them and why it would make things better for their business to integrate with the blockchain, and how it would make things more efficient, cheaper, all the arguments for blockchain technology. I think that has just a huge opportunity. And like back to my analogy of all the chips in the middle, and some people coming out with fewer than they came in with, and some people coming out with more. And unless there's more chips being added to that pool, then more people are going to lose than make money. Well, with this, you're adding a substantial amount of those chips to that pile, right? If you have, if you're tapped into a multi-trillion-dollar industry of real estate, gaming industries, sports betting industries, you name it, like there's some potential there. There's some potential. That's what I like about it.
I love it. And to me, it comes back to the power of like using DeFi for what it like. I don't want to use the word should, because should is, I think, is an arbitrary thing of what should something be when it's up to the user applicant here. But I think it's going back to the roots of like to make crypto what we want it to be, to really bring crypto to that level. One aspect, of course, is like finding liquidity on the space itself, but the aspect is bringing liquidity. Now, I think a lot of that is to do with regulation. But I think even regulation aside, the only way we really get somewhere is by bringing real companies and even your day-to-day users in. Like sometimes it's like, yes, it's a lot harder for these giant companies to go and integrate crypto because there's so much steps that have to be followed and regulations that at that point, for a scale of the company, it has to be followed to an extent. Because I was even talking to like a very, very large company CTO the other day, and they were like all about blockchain. Like we had some solutions we were presenting them, and it was like a real problem that they had on their balance sheet, which crypto and what we were offering would have been able to solve. But the problem was, it was like he was so down and the company's so down, but because, I mean, this is a Fortune 500 company that I'm talking about, but because the crypto regulation for them at scale wasn't where it needed to be, they can't make that move, because for them to make that move with that unclarity, it's way too risky being as large as they are. And I think for us, it's like the aspect of like, one step is you can't wait for something. I think it's the aspect of like waiting is a forever game. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it's building where you can. And I think right now, even that's small business solutions. And it's the aspect of like having something, and this is kind of me for alluding to something that we're doing, but it's having an easy solution for getting companies on the blockchain, something that isn't created before, a real software solution that allows any company to become blockchain, not centric, but blockchain accessible. And that's something that we were just working on this week. And Tommy was doing a demo for one of our clients, and it was just like that product to me is insane. Like the aspect of like being able to bring the smaller businesses on and grow with them into the space as the space is evolving and the regulations are coming.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. I like the alpha. I'll take it. No,
Got to
it's
drop a little bit.
yeah, of course, of course. I mean, feel free, drop some more. But yeah, no, that's definitely an opportunity, especially obviously like you said, making it accessible to everybody, and making it a streamlined process. Like nobody's doing that right now, and that obviously opens the door for somebody like you guys to come in and then be like, here's the solution, um, and then go from there essentially. So yeah, I like it. No, it's really good. But I can flip the script back on you now. So let's talk about some hobbies. Yeah, what do you like to do in your free time, if you even have any anymore?
Right now, I'm on this like very serious gym kick where every morning I'll go to the gym and every night. So that right now is a big free time taker. So as we know, our ticker is Astro, so I have a dog. I haven't been able to spend as much time with him as I would like, but I am trying to change that. But for me, it's like kind of going back to the basics. I love even like driving around, as cliche as that is. Like I will be bored and go for a drive and go see some cool view or something. I love like for me, it's when I'm working. But when I'm not working, I want to be out of the house doing something clear in my head. So when I come home, I have a new perspective change. So for me, it's kind of whatever it kind of takes to get out of the house, going for a hike, going for a swim, going to the gym, hanging out with some friends, getting coffee. Like whatever it is, but that change of scenery and mindset.
Oh yeah, no, that is a super good point. I, you know, experienced the same thing, and I guess I haven't quite put it to words that well yet. So I will definitely be using that, like just going for a scene change. I like that. But
We all need it.
how about like sports? Are you into any sports or video games or?
I love me some basketball and football. I could talk about them all day long. Growing up, I
Okay.
played both very much, very much in both those worlds. I used to even coach football for a little bit. It was some fun times in high school, but like I mean I love football and basketball. I mean I love a lot of sports, but those two are definitely my core sports. From a video game standpoint, I can always go down for a good game of 2K. When Keys and Patrick were stopping by, some guys on our team, we played a game or two. Same thing with Peanut. I think he's on this call. We played a good game of 2K. So a little bit, not really. I hadn't played in forever, and they were over. We played a game or two, but that's kind of the extent of my gamers experience.
I feel like this is a really dumb question if this says anything about my gamer experience, but what's 2K?
You're joking, right?
No.
2K is just basketball. It's like basketball, but the console game.
Okay. I have never heard of 2K. That's interesting. I don't ever play console. I always have a computer to play like Minecraft or Apex Legends on. But that's like the extent of my gaming.
Yeah, see, I do not game at all. Sam and Payne, they play some Bleed, so like I'll join them from time. But I am not a gamer in any way. However, my younger brother is the definition of the most hardcore gamer in the world. Both my younger brothers are. So through Protzy, I am like exposed to gaming because that is their life.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Here's a little alpha on Cole. So for those of you who don't know, Cole's our developer. He used to play like hardcore Overwatch. So Overwatch, I'm assuming most of you guys know what that is. Like the five, I think it's
Totally.
5v5 or is it 6v6? Um, and he used to play that like all the time. He was really good with it, and eventually got to like top 200 or so, top 200 in North America. So he was like professional level back in high school.
That is nuts. Okay, I remember that being like a very serious, hard game. I don't think that that is like the easiest thing to achieve.
No, he was a tryhard, I suppose, to say the least.
Listen, we all try to be tryhards at some point.
Yeah, I mean
All
he's
right, this is going interesting. I don't know if this comeback is going to happen, but we're doing something. I don't know.
at this point I would say it's gonna happen. It's not looking too well for me. You're making me think and have a conversation at the same time. Not the best multitasker, but I suppose the same thing is true for you. You're still in the same conversation as me, playing the same game.
I see someone talking about Dallas. So yes, so my dad is a very big Dallas Cowboys fan. He loves football. And I grew up with my dad, obviously. So he was always a big Cowboys fan. We grew up in Orlando, which was even weirder because that's not the local team there either. But he was always into the Cowboys. So for me, it was kind of like you gotta love the Cowboys, and that's kind of what I grew up loving them. My brother is a Jets fan though, but we live outside Philly. Which is a weird place to be a Cowboys fan. It's not ideal, but I am definitely a Cowboys fan. And Steve, you're out in Jersey and work 5 days a week in New York. That is interesting. I am not. I mean, I'm very close to Princeton. I'm just into PA, so always down to meet up whenever. Do you know that you were sharing you chuckle, bro? Yeah. Yep. Oh, come on, dude. You just lost the game.
Is there something I should have done better?
Yes. Yes, you should have taken my knight.
No, I would have gotten checkmated.
No, D3. D3 square, rook 5. You had me pinned. You could have had me pinned, rather. That stack move 3 times in a row. I can't.
Dude, I wouldn't even win if I got to move 3 times in a row.
I don't know about that, Zach. Steve, you're loading up some over. Oh, no, that's a GIF. You got me on that one.
Yeah, Steve said that he used to be a Lucio player. Oh, I should just
I remember that guy. I totally remember that guy.
Yeah, I used to play Hanzo. I played a very minimal amount of Overwatch, but I just like shooting people with the bow because I don't know, it was a little different than the other characters. But I was pretty terrible. I played one game on Cole's account at the high level. I think I killed like one person in the whole game, which usually you should get like 20 or 30 kills at least. So I'm not the best gamer. But that's what I got in crypto.
That's exactly. We can't do it all. No, for me, if there's anything game related, I just take it off to my brother, Payne. Like, cannot do gaming for the life of me.
Oh, Payne is your brother?
Oh no, Payne is not. But those are my two. If I have to kick someone on our team, I'm gonna kick anything for gaming to Payne. If not,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna kick it to my brother.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. I misheard you. But yeah. I used to play Apex was like the last game that I played like kind of a lot. And yeah, that was a few years ago. But outside of that, no games for me. But good game. You made the comeback. You've embarrassed me in front of all of our people here in the audience. So congratulations.
That is never the goal, and I think for that you should get some more Astro. I think that's only fair, but like it's okay.
I mean, hey, if you ever want to donate me some Astro for my feelings being hurt, I'm more than open to receiving some. Yeah, Arsh is cheating again.
Yeah, exactly. Yup. Oh my God.
But
I don't
no.
think I'll ever be able to live this one down.
The next time we do the DeFi chess tournament, we'll have to see if you don't have to share screens again, so you'll get called out for cheating. See if that goes down again, or
I will. I think the next one I would just walk in with Facecam and screen share right on there, like not even deal with that again. Not happening.
Oh, that'll be fun. Would you, as far as the events go, do you think it would be a good idea to change it up a little bit, or do another chess one, or maybe do it but not as frequently?
I think it's kind of this aspect. It's tough for me, like enjoyment wise. I would love to do one right away, but at the same time, I think for maximum effect, you kind of gotta wait it out a little bit. I would say probably like one every couple months or something. Maybe like one every quarter or something like that, or maybe an event every quarter of some sort.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. So Jojo's out of town right now, and when he gets back, that's when we're gonna start planning the next event. So we'll see what we come up with, but we're kind of caught in the middle of should we do another chess tournament or make that like an annual thing, or change it up a little bit, or I don't know. If anybody has any input, feel free to let us know.
I would definitely think on this as well. I think there's a lot of fun events that we can do. Now, I got a question for the community here, everyone here. What partnership do you guys want to see for 100 days? What's a cool partnership in your world? And even you, Zach, what do you think is a cool partner for us?
Ooh, okay. So for those of you who don't know, I'm really big into bowling. So prior to launching Cardinal House and Chain Estate, I was at the bowling alley probably 4 or 5 times a week for the last like 4 years, and just kind of grinding away at bowling, getting really good at bowling, or trying to get really good. So if I wasn't gonna do this, I would probably be going on the professional tour for bowling. So if you could partner with the PBA, which is the Professional Bowlers Association, integrate like bowling ball NFTs. I don't know how you would do it, but that would be pretty cool.
There's a lot of places I could have, but there's a lot of places I thought you could have went with that, Zach. Bowling would have not been a top 100 guess here. So
No.
wait, how good are you at bowling? Like, what does that mean exactly?
That's a good question. I don't really. I mean, it's hard to answer. So there's so many variables that go into bowling. I guess the easiest statistic you can go off of is your average. So
Okay.
last year I averaged somewhere between 225 and 230. Somebody just sent a bowling gif of a ball going through the ceiling. Nice. I've never done that for the record. But there's a ton of variables. So
Wait, did you say 225?
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I just looked up the average score for a normal person.
Probably like 100. But yeah,
Try 70.
it's really okay.
So wow. Okay. All right. So you're legit. You are very legit.
I've been bowling my entire life, so yeah, I've been trying. Okay, Cole's in person right next to me right now. He's trying to tell me something. What's up, Cole?
I'm saying I want to play Arsh.
You want to play Irish?
Yeah.
All right. We got a new addition to the podcast. Welcome, Cole. He's over at my house right now, so I just clicked the rematch button. If you want to accept the rematch, Cole wants to challenge you.
Yeah, let's do this thing.
Let's do it, dude.
I can't hear it all, by the way.
I'll make it so you can hear.
Oh, really? Oh.
Wait, you want to send me that link again, Zach? I totally closed off of it.
Yeah.
Or is it the same link?
Oh, he beat you every time?
Yeah, you weren't listening to the podcast? What are you doing?
I'm working on the education center.
Okay. Fair enough.
Getting that ready for everyone.
All right, I sent you the link. But yeah, bowling. So if you think of any ways to integrate bowling with the blockchain, or if I think of any ways, I will let you know. But that would be a sick partnership. Yeah, you're. I don't know if you knew, but you're on mute.
Oh, he said he can't speak.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
He can still play chess though. Got that invitation out to you.
Yeah, well, while we got Cole here, what's going on with the education center?
So we are actually changing it from kind of a light theme to a dark theme. So I've been working on getting that changed up just to make it look slicker and more modern, and so it looks much better now. But it's pretty much ready. So I think Zach already announced that tomorrow we'll be putting it out to everyone. So I'm really looking forward to that. A lot of progress has gone into that the past couple of weeks. So yeah. All right, looks like we're starting the game.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I got you off of mute now.
Let's go.
Oh, we're doing unlimited time control?
Yeah, because we were gonna have the community vote, but then we kind of forgot to do that.
All right. That works.
But yeah,
Let's see what you got.
I got the Trumpowski coming your way.
is that a real opening name?
Yeah, it's called the Trumpowski.
There's so much to chess, I don't know.
Man, let's see. Weren't you the one that was you? Didn't you have a high ranking or something? I don't remember.
Like on Lee Chess?
Yeah, or something like. Didn't you like play real tournaments? Or something? I forget who I was talking to about this. I think it was. I don't remember.
I have played chess in real life quite a bit, and then I know Clone Pone or whatever that guy's name was. He also had a rating in real life that was pretty good.
Yeah.
The guy who won. Yeah.
He said he was 2200, I believe.
In real life?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which is pretty insane.
Yeah, that's good for sure.
Random DeFi tournament. You got 2,200 showing up. That's not what you would expect.
I was hoping the Godfather would play. Kind of unfortunate he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, his name is Danny now.
We still call him the Godfather. But yeah, Arsh, I'll flip the script back to you. What partnership would you think that you want to integrate and would be super cool?
Ooh. How do I, from a DeFi standpoint or a real world standpoint?
Let's do both.
From a real world standpoint, I would love to do something in neuroscience again. That is something that I'm really passionate about and enjoy. And I think I'm really good at it. And I think I have some crazy ass ideas that would work very well. I don't know, like from a tangibility standpoint, how realistic any of that on that side is. But that's something that I would love to kind of get back into from a 100 days standpoint. I've been into space. I've been in even from a blockchain standpoint. But I would love to make it happen from a 100 days standpoint. And from a crypto standpoint, I think there's quite a few projects I would like to partner with. We will be partnering with a few of them next week. So I notice how I said few, not one. So there will be a few that I like that we will be partnering with. But one that I would like to partner with but haven't yet, huh? I don't know. For me, it's like probably like one of the really big ones, right? Like you're probably some kind of like big deal format or even like an Aave or like GMX. That's someone that I met at AVATS in New York, or rather I met them, and they have some really interesting things that I would love for 100 days to get involved with. And I don't know what that looks like quite yet, but I think that would be something that I would love to partner with. All right, you made me think on that one for way too long.
Yeah, I think this is a little unfair. I'm the one talking, and then
I'm playing.
Cole's the one playing, versus you're doing the talking and the playing.
No, I think I have a plan in place now. I'm ready for some action.
Yeah, no, this game's gonna get spicy quick. I think I made a mistake already.
Let's see.
You're gonna embarrass yourself really bad here, Cole, if you lose now that you're not the one talking.
That's true, actually. Whatever. What can I do?
You could play better.
I mean, yeah. That's mostly that's usually an option, but Somehow, I just biffed it already.
Well, don't biff it.
Easier said than done.
Well, we can even the playing field. How about Arsh? Do you have any questions for Cole?
So Cole, you're a dev, right?
Yes, I am. That's right.
What kind of dev?
So I mostly do web development, and then obviously now that I'm in the Web3 space, I've done a lot of coding with smart contracts as well.
Okay.
So for our Zach and I, our old project Chain Estate, or I should say first project, Cardinal House is obviously where we're at right now doing most of our work. But when we were doing a lot with Chain Estate before, I created the website and all the smart contracts and our DApp as well, the NFT marketplace. So I did pretty much everything there. So I guess you would say I'm a full stack developer. I kind of do everything in the front end and the back end.
That is awesome. There is nothing more deadly than a full stack dev.
Hey, that's right.
I always show a little bit of hate towards front end guys if you're only a front end. So I'm glad that you're not only a front end.
No, the front end's always fun.
That's awesome. It's so for you did you learn Solidity off rip or did you kind of grow into it or what was the background of concepts there?
I learned Solidity just to do Chain Estate and to become a developer in this space. So yeah, I didn't really grow into it. I just kind of dove right into it, starting in like maybe November of last year. Yeah, this is a
Solid
wild
enough.
game.
Did you find it really hard to kind of learn Solidity with a background in coding or not really?
It was pretty easy, honestly. There's a couple of hurdles that you have to get over, but mostly that's just understanding how to actually use Solidity to create a token and add in certain tokenomics like transaction fees. But the language itself is pretty simple.
And that's like exactly my experience. With my background was I wasn't like a coder or anything like that. In fact, I think the worst grade I ever got was like in a coding class once because I hated coding. I hated my teacher. But for me, it's like coding is always this aspect of like I think that coding is something that's best done when it's self-taught. I think classes really throw you off there. And I think Solidity, like having a background in web development, it kind of comes almost naturally when you're trying to pick it up and learn it. I don't think Solidity is anything crazy. Really, I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that's really weird and hard to get used to is when this isn't really a Solidity specific thing, but like when you're programming on the blockchain, you have to deal with. Also, that's a good move, by the way. Wait, hold on. Am I screwed?
Really gonna come on my podcast and just lose like this that quick? You didn't even last as long as I did.
I wasn't.
He is
Wow. So
definitely.
yeah, I kind of understand now how it's hard to play when you're talking at the same
That's
time.
what I'm saying. Unless you're harsh.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow. Yeah, this is rough.
Pain Queen to D2 is the move call. Oh, I totally missed that. That was like 3 minutes ago.
Wait, which move?
Apparently D2 was a good move for you 3 minutes ago that I didn't see.
D2?
Apparently.
I'm trying to. No, I'll keep playing. I went back to like look at what you're talking about, but. All right. Well, I'll just kind of take the L here and see what happens.
Nice tripled pawns.
Yeah, thanks. I like him.
That's a dicey move.
Yeah, what am I doing? What am I doing? And now I got like just triple pawns and nothing else.
Ooh. All right.
I gotta lose this rook. I don't have a
You
choice.
were winning this game for a while.
Yeah. Not really sure what happened.
Oh, Pain. I did not realize you were kidding. I didn't pay attention. That would have been the best move then.
Probably still would have been in a better position than where he is now.
Yeah. We'll have to do another game after this because we need to determine if that was a fluke or not.
All right. Always down.
Someone said he turned on the cheat button.
engine are you using?
It's not like you can see my screen.
Oh, is he sharing his... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Nice.
We're just messing with you.
So I can't use that as an excuse then.
No, you can't be clone phone.
Oh my god.
Oh, boy. All right, I'm just gonna resign. Let's go into another one. I call a rematch, but that was good.
What? Do it. All right, let's not play the English for once. Let's do something different.
All right.
I love the English. It's literally the only thing I play is white.
Yeah, it's a good opening. Oh, you have to do that. This is like my least favorite version of this.
You don't like this variant? You don't like the reverse Sicilian?
This is called like the Russolini, isn't it, or something like that?
Yup.
Yeah, no, it's not fun. For either side, really. In my opinion, I'm sure you like it.
No, not at all.
Why'd you do it
I like. I didn't know what other variant to play there. I wasn't gonna play you on the open. I don't want to. I hate it when it comes down to like a. I'm not an end game guy, and a lot of the
Yeah.
other variants here are like trade offs.
Sure. Yeah. That's why you don't want to take my knight.
Nope. I like tactic moves. I don't like trade off moves. Because then I go to an end game and I'll screw up something.
Yeah, fair enough. Thanos too. Yeah, good one.
Zach, you got another round of bullet questions for me to do while I'm doing this?
Oh man, I'll see if I can come up with some. All right, now that Clone Pone is here,
Oh, he is.
he's in the chat, Mr. Clone Pone himself.
Oh, nice. What's up, man?
I'm gonna ask you an either or question: Clone Pone or Cole?
For what? For what?
I don't know. Who's the better chess player?
Well, he beat me.
And if they rematched, who would win, Clone Pone or Cole?
I do think Clone Tone is a very, very good player. Not that Cole isn't, but from what I've seen Clone Tone do, the guy is very, very solid.
All
When
right.
someone deserves credit, they deserve credit.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. See, this is me coming up with questions off the top of my head. As you can see, I'm not the best, but I'll see if I can come up with a few good ones. I know our AMA with MDB, we said Jesse Eckel or James Pelton.
Oh man. I mean, I started watching Jesse. I think Jesse was in Jesse for me. Jesse's interesting because Jesse brought so many people into the space. I've talked to so many people that their first kind of DeFi venture was because of Jesse. So for that reason, I gotta side Jesse.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. Now Jesse definitely has like a more beginner take on things. I feel like he was like newer to the space, and therefore he's able to explain it to newer people in a lot more comprehensive way. And
Totally. And I think that's the tough part of DeFi, right? Is like even from a 100-day standpoint. It's like you don't see projects trying to take on and do what we're doing. It's just like when you get into these complexities of DeFi, you have to have someone really go out there and break it down in an easy to understand way. And I think that's something that he always did very well.
yeah,
Not that James Pelton doesn't, but I just think that Jesse's way of doing it was something different.
yeah, I completely agree. Let's see. I'll come up with another one.
Can it be anything, or does it have to be related to crypto?
It could be anything.
If you
Whatever
had
you
to
got.
live on a deserted island, which island would it be?
That would require me to know deserted islands.
Yeah, I guess it's a tough one then.
I don't know if I know like any nice deserted islands. I only know like the scary ones that I wouldn't pick.
Like what?
No one remembers the good stuff. You remember the bad things. Like the one with like the snakes. Like there's that one island that's nothing but snakes. I know there's a spider version of that. There's a Komodo dragon version of that. Those are like all the ones that come to the top of my head.
I guess you're stumped then. But that's fair. I didn't really expect you to actually have an answer to that. It's more of a joke.
All right, spiders or snakes then? How about that?
Spiders any day. I hate snakes.
What's scary about a snake?
See, I grew up in Orlando, so it's just Snakes Palooza out there. So after that, whenever I see a snake, it's adios.
All right, that's a fair point. See, Cole, you're usually good at coming up with stuff on the fly.
Yeah, I'm kind of a BSer. Just when
It's
I'm
also
joking
playing a
around.
game right now.
Yeah, you gotta come up with stuff while playing chess now. It's a new challenge for you.
Yeah.
Developing a website and an NFT marketplace ain't enough for you for a challenge, so you gotta come up with stuff on the fly.
Right.
I think you got to do all three at once.
Yeah. Where's your laptop? You're not coding right now. What are you doing?
Well, I left it upstairs so I could come play some games of chess. Hmm. I
How
think
about this one? Constellation or Iota?
I'm glad this question is on Twitter because if you pick either or on Twitter, you're gonna get wrecked. I gotta go Iota. I just don't. I don't know. Something about Constellation, I just don't. I'm not a big Constellation guy. I know that there's so many reasons and people that like die hard on it. I'm just not on that wave.
Yeah, that's fair enough. They've got quite the amount of fans. I know they have a YouTube page that has like pretty high quality videos posted on it. That's like run by one of their fans or a couple of them, and they just like post all this free content and stuff. Like dedicate many hours a day to the Constellation Network. So they've got some fans.
There's definitely a lot of lovers for sure.
But yeah, it's up like 25% today.
Hmm.
I hold a little bit. So it was a good day.
Is it a good day
Okay,
if you just sell,
okay.
though?
Should I just sell?
What if it goes back down?
Then it would be a bad day.
Yeah.
I see checkmate in 3.
What the hell do you see that I don't?
Maybe I'm just trying to throw you off. I don't know. Yeah, you got Cole thinking.
Yeah. It's an interesting position.
It is. It. My head goes a lot of places right now.
Yeah.
Payne says, or Cole is loading the cheat button.
Well, you can also see my screen, so.
You got 2 monitors, you know.
Oh, and I could use my phone. But then I'd have to like play through the entire game to get to that point on my phone.
But you've been playing through it this entire time.
I don't remember the moves.
You've been playing with the engine the entire time.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why you're not losing.
Oh, yeah, got it.
You guys see me doing so much. I didn't even see this message. I'm so sorry. Do you announce the partnership next week? Totally. We will be announcing that DeFi partnership next week for sure.
I heard you could announce it today too. Like it's a possibility.
You would want me to do that, wouldn't you, Zach?
Yes, I would, which is why I'm asking. I gotta squeeze all the alpha I can out of people. It's what makes it fun.
I mean, yes, I wish. What I would say is you better be on that AMA because you won't want to miss it.
I will be there as long as I'm not on another AMA here. I will probably be there. But it's been busy. Have
Busy's
things,
good.
yes, for sure. Have things been ramping up on your guys' end too, like just over the last few weeks, or
Oh my
has it
gosh,
always
it's
been
been
busy?
complete chaos. I am always someone that like I have to be on top of my DMs and everything. Could not have been on top of it the last like 2 days, and it's like I gotta get caught up.
Yeah, I
With us,
feel
is
that.
we're building out so many things right now that it's like nothing but dev calls all day. And don't get me wrong, I love a good dev meeting, but it is not my favorite thing of the day to do.
Yeah, meetings are good, but too many meetings can be a lot. Cole, are you gonna lose again?
Oh, it's looking like it, yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh,
But
I've got an idea for you.
an idea for.
Never mind.
Uh-oh.
I was about to tell you to sacrifice a bishop. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, pass on that there.
The real Austin Clark is here this time.
Oh, did he change his profile picture back? He's not representing the Cardinal house? Austin, what you doing, man? Did Austin said he's too frugal to get Nitro to have dual profile pictures on different servers?
Gotta hook him up. Oh my god, thank you, Payne. I need to start shouting that out more. Anyone that's here, you better get some 100 Days merch.
Oh, I fricked up.
Gotta get on it. Gotta do it. Even Austin Clark is on it. Like, come on. You can't let Austin beat you at everything.
All right, I'm sharing my screens. We got some men's socks with the 100 Days logo on it. Okay.
We
Definitely
got
cotton
anything and
hoodies.
everything. Austin, that's the right answer, dude. That is the right freaking answer.
Sweet. Yeah, he can buy more Astro tokens instead of Nitro. I mean that's a fair point. Fair point. Or you could represent Cardinal House and Austin Clark at the same time.
Oh, this game is over as well now.
Not if you sacrifice the bishop. Just saying.
Sacrifice. I don't think that works. No, it's done too. I'm gonna resign. All right, good game.
Good game, guys.
How
Good
many
game.
did you play against Harsh?
I think we played 3.
All right. Do you want to do one more then? So I also play 3.
I am down,
All right.
but I
Last...
totally closed that link again.
Oh, you left. I see. Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right, we gotta put a time control on this one.
Oh yeah.
This has been the longest podcast episode by like 30 minutes already.
Okay, I did 3 minutes with 2-second increment. And where do I go?
Let's run it.
Just DM, yeah, up there.
All right.
Our whole entire DM history is just a bunch of links.
Nice. All right, last game. This one's speedy. So this might be where I shine, but it could just be worse.
Well, we'll see what's in store here. What can we do? I tend to screw up these games.
All right.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough time to load in the moves to the engine, so.
Well, 2-second
Gosh,
increment, he
all right.
will actually have enough time.
Don't tell him that.
Back to the English we go. If we're gonna go on a time restraint, I gotta play at least the opening that I know the best.
Yeah, that's fair.
has 100 Days been invited to the circle of trusted partners yet with Liquid Capital?
Yes, we have. We haven't done anything there. Because we was talking about Summit earlier. It's like I want to do something with substance behind it. So just trying to figure out what that entails for us with that partnership. It's definitely something we do want to be a part of, but we want to make it more meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Very fair. I think right now, at least from my experience, I know they have pretty big plans for it, but they're still getting more applicants in and kind of figuring out exactly what that looks like. So right now, there's not really a whole lot to it, at least from what I know. Like we just got accepted in, I guess, to the circle of partners. Not a whole lot that's really happened with it so far. Like no separate chats or groups to communicate with people. I'm a little thrown off by it, to be honest with you, but I know they're also absurdly busy with the Titan situation and
Yeah,
all that good stuff. So I think they're gonna have something pretty cool established though, in the coming weeks after their launch is concluded.
see, I don't know Eric that well, but I talked to Steve a lot, and Steve has nothing but great words to say about Eric. But I do know LB and Nikki very well, and both of those guys are phenomenal. So I wouldn't expect anything else. But right now, it's what that is. I don't know, but know that those guys are the ones that are kind of doing things here. I expect something.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think you're missing out if you don't hop on the train anytime soon. So no worries there. But it'd be fun to be in the circle of trusted partners with you.
100%, 100%. Whatever circle we're in, we're always in something together. We always got Cardinal houses back in any way we can.
Oh yeah, that's what we like to hear.
I thought this game would be more explosive since we have less time, but it's kind of the same as the last one.
That's my catch is these days. I'm not a fast thinker. I kind of freaking think. Think. Let's go.
All right, Cole. We'll level the playing field. Now I'll ask you a couple questions. What's been your hardest part about developing so far in the Web3 space?
That's a good question. Well, I can't think about it right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think the hardest part has been probably dealing with the fact that within smart contracts, there are certain things you can't do that you can do, or at least it's harder to do, that is very easy to do outside of Web3 development. For example, randomness. It's really easy to
Oh my
generate a random
god.
number off the blockchain
Yes.
with like any programming language, anything you're doing. It's just super easy. But on the blockchain, because everything needs to be verifiable, as in like you can go back and basically like reperform a transaction to verify that everything happened as it should. You can't have randomness unless you use what's called an oracle, which that's a whole rabbit hole to get into of what that is and how it works. But really all you need to know is that sometimes that's just a pain. Like you want to do something simple and you can't because you need an
No,
oracle.
Cole that is such I'm glad you brought that point up. Randomizing on the blockchain is not a freaking joke.
Yeah.
The amount of brain power it takes. Like, I mean, now there's solutions out there. But for the longest part, there weren't good randomization solutions on the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is a legitimate, difficult thing to do.
Yeah, right. But even with the solutions they have, like it's still so much more complicated than what you can do outside of on the blockchain.
If you ever need help with that, talk to LB about it. I liked his approach to it.
Okay, will do. What is his approach?
So it gets past my head. So from my standpoint, I'm not a dev, but I know my way around.
Okay, sure.
Like I can dev, but I just don't for 100 days. I feel like I stick to where I'm better. And the part what LB does goes beyond my understanding. But from what our architect was speaking about it made logical sense. I just can't re-articulate it.
Hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
You guys got both under a minute left.
Yeah, it's getting intense.
How does it feel to be down a pond, Cole?
Oh, not good. Yeah.
Trading when you're down too?
Yeah, tisk tisk, I know.
Dude, what did Craig teach you when we were back in junior high school? Apparently nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. How do I not lose? I don't really think I had a choice there. Oh, that's not good.
What are you doing?
All right, good game.
Good game, dude. I can't believe we played as much chess as we did today. This is not what I expected again, Zach. You always throw me off.
Dude, shout out to Chris. He was the one with the idea. So I came in completely unprepared to play chess, and then we ended up playing chess for a good hour and 40 minutes.
Listen, I told you, these are the AMAs I can get used to.
Yeah, it's a little different, a little fun. We're always looking for ways to make it fun. I got actually, I guess the last thing I'll drop on everybody before we conclude here is that we have a couple cool event ideas. A couple of them being like during an AMA, we maybe have like, I don't know, 5 or 6 people on the stage, and then throughout the AMA, like every 10 or 15 minutes, the audience votes for one person to boot off the stage, and then the last person standing is the winner. I think that could be fun. Or draw the speaker to win. Like if we ever do like a giveaway with an AMA and it's on camera, like the person that hand draws the person speaking might be the best winner and get the giveaway. That could be a cool one. Some Discord games or more rapid fire questions. I think those all would be really fun to do on an AMA.
I can get behind all of this.
Yeah, so next time we have you on, we'll have to do the vote people off the stage thing with the whole 100 Days team. I think that'd be really fun. As long as there's no hard feelings. And hopefully I don't get voted off right away. That would suck, being the host.
That might be a small problem, maybe a little bit.
Perhaps. But yeah, no, this was super fun. I appreciate you coming on and appreciate everybody tuning in. I know this is a long one, and some of you probably watched more chess today than they have their entire life. So cheers to that.
Thank you all. Thank you, Zach, for being as awesome host as you are. Thank you, Cole, for popping in. But more importantly, thank you all community members for being here. You guys are superstars.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So take care, everybody.
You too, man.